For cheap PoE currencies, visit aoeah.com. Check the link in the description, you get 3% off with the code ARIAD. Don't drink the water. Every player has probably heard this statement multiple times when talking to the various characters in the cigarette camp. More concrete, this phrase comes from Survey, the elder lady who supplies you with flasks and scrolls or disenchants useless loot. But what's wrong with the water? Why should we not drink it? That's the question we'll be exploring in today's video. But first, we need to take a step back in history and talk about the Val. The Val were an ancient civilization known for their dark and often cruel experiments. Their society was deeply rooted in rituals and sacrifices, especially blood sacrifices, which they used to enhance their constructs and technology. A central element in their experiments was the use of virtue gems, which had the ability to capture the souls of the recently deceased and amplify their powers. The Val also developed advanced technologies that far surpassed their time, integrating them into their constructs and rituals. One infamous example of Val experimentation was the work of Doriani, the thaumaturg of the last Queen Atziri. His experiments ultimately led to the Val Cataclysm, a massive destruction event that nearly wiped out their entire civilization. The Val also were known for their temples and altars, which often served as centers for their sacrifices and rituals. The Temple of Azzoatl is a very famous example. The history of the Val is both fascinating and tragic. Their relentless pursuit of power and experimentation led to their downfall, but their achievements and secrets continue to shape the world. After the Val were devastated by the cataclysm caused by Doriani and Queen Atziri, the few surviving members of the civilization sought refuge among the Azmiri, who were ancestors of the Aziris. Over time, the Val fully assimilated into Azmiri society. This integration meant that certain aspects of the Val culture were carried over into Azmiri traditions. The Azmiri, who later became the dominant culture, could be considered heirs to the Val's technology and rituals. The Val engaged in both magical and alchemical practices, aimed at manipulating energy. However, such manipulations often resulted in terrifying side effects, which the Val kept in secret. The development of their advanced technology also had catastrophic consequences. Some of their experiments contaminated entire regions with toxic and radioactive residues. Many cigarettes were irradiated due to the reckless handling of their new technology. I know not everyone is an expert in science, but in the final battle of the story you should definitely ask yourself, how did Doriani's construct generate the energy needed for those high-intensity laser beams? The truth, only a nuclear power source could provide that level of energy. So reading the history as a scientist, the practices of energy manipulation of course have been some experiments in particle physics, and the Val Cataclysm was actually a thermonuclear event that nearly destroyed the world. So the warning "don't drink the water" is a reference to the dark and dangerous environment frequently mentioned in the game's lore. Act 3 takes place in a region heavily influenced by the Val civilization and their experiments. Water samples from this region contain both alpha and beta radiation, and in some areas additional toxic substances have contaminated the water. So this is why you should never drink the water or take a bath in it. Even weak alpha radiation, which can't even penetrate a sheet of paper, has devastating effects when swallowed, causing massive damage to organs and blood vessels. The first symptoms include bloody coughing and hair loss, and depending on the radiation dose, the average survival time ranges from just a few days to several weeks. Now you know what's really going on. See you in the next video, take care, and most importantly, don't drink the water.
Don't drink the water. see you.